Hello and welcome to a new edition of Foodocracy for Her, where I speak to women entrepreneurs in the food and beverage industry in Mumbai. And we've got a very, very special guest today. We've got Urmila Julka ma'am, who runs a restaurant called Hazara in Mumbai, which was established in 1947. So which means that it is as old as the modern state of India, our country. We're going to understand a bit about the history of Hazara and her family, and then go into talking about her. Hazara is a Punjabi restaurant. And, when we talk about restaurants across India, the first thing which comes to mind when we talk of Indian restaurants is Punjabi restaurants. But there's a reason why there are Punjabi restaurants across India and across the world. And a lot of them came up during the time just after the partition when the modern state of India was born. And the history of Hazara, in a way, exemplifies that. So before we start talking about Urmila ji on her family and her history, I'm going to talk to her a bit about the history of Hazara. So welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on board and to learn about both the history of your family and then the amazing work which you've been doing in taking it forward. So thank you so much. So ma'am, can you tell us a bit about the history of Hazara? And I believe it was your father-in-law who started it. So a bit about how they came to Mumbai and how it all started.
Actually, before partition, when Hindustan, Pakistan was not there, it was one country. We were staying there. And during partition, all Hindus came into India. Some set up into Delhi, some in Punjab, some here, there. And our community, they came to Mumbai. And they set up in Koliwada. So there was no Hazara restaurant over there. It was just barracks of military governments, some places. Whatever construction was there, we had to accommodate ourselves over there. So my father-in-law, they got a chawl and a very huge room they had there over there. And actually, I was not there. I was not married. Even my husband was a very young school-going boy. So my father-in-law purchased property over there.
And his name was? And your father-in-law's name was?
Hukamchand Singh Julka.
Hukamchand.
Yeah. So he purchased a property over there. There are about 16, 17 shops are there. Wow. So in front of that property, he opened a restaurant and called it Hazara. It was Hazara in Pakistan in Khyber.
So Hazara is the village which he came from.
Yeah.
Earlier.
In Khyber it was there. So after that it became Hindustan, Pakistan. After that.
How fascinating is that? And so for people who are not from Mumbai and even many in Mumbai who might not know this, koliwada refers to places in Mumbai which are actually originally the fishing villages. And the Koli community, the Kolis are the original folks of Mumbai and they were the fisher folks. So there's Sayan Koliwada, then there's Koliwada, Kanda Koliwada.
There are many Koliwadas in Mumbai where the Koli people used to stay. But during this war, people went here and there and that place was empty. But Kolis was staying there. So that's why it was called Koliwada.
So there's a big Punjabi settlement at Sayan Koliwada, I understand.
Yeah.
So
my father-in-law, they had no business. They started a small restaurant, simple. And he, somehow, I don't know, by the grace of God, he started selling fish.
So there's a Punjabi selling fish. Imagine you normally associate Punjabis with, dal makhni or tandoori chicken, and here's a Punjabi selling fish.
All that he started with a small scale, whatever he had knowledge. But Koliwada main is now famous till now. In 5 stars also, in you go abroad, in hotel menus, in Indian hotel menus, there is fishes called fish Koliwada.
Yes. So it is very interesting that when you look at Punjabi food, when you go to Punjab, there are certain dishes which you see in dhabas and then in homes. But when the Punjabi community moved across the country and across the world, then they created their own dishes taking the local choices. So in Kolkata, which is where I've grown up, there's, for example, the Torka dal, which is the green moong and kala masoor dal, which has become very popular there, made in Bengali houses. Then there is the bharta, which is called the bharta, by, with the chicken and the shredded
Various,
eggs.
various states, they have little changes.
Yeah. And I've not seen
Even in
that outside
language
of
also,
Calcutta,
even in language also there are differences coming.
the way you speak. So
Yeah, yeah.
similarly in Mumbai, the most famous dish, one of the most famous dishes of Mumbai, right up there with the vada pav and the pav bhaji and the misal pav, is
Yeah,
the
now
fish koliwada.
yeah,
Is a fish koliwada.
fish
In
koliwada.
fact, when I came to Mumbai 20 years back,
You
there
might
used
have
to be
visited
this.
my place. You might have visited my house, restaurant.
Yes, yes. And I recently had the fish koliwada
I
from
think
your
20 years
restaurant.
before my husband was also there.
Yeah, yes.
He's
So
my, he was my husband.
and he's your husband. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry I lost him. He was master-in-law. So he was
Yeah.
starting. They were three brothers. Younger two were working with my father-in-law. But when he finished his studies, so he joined my father-in-law in the business, and all progress he did. My
So
husband.
he was wearing a graduation gown in the picture
Yeah, there's a convocation picture. Convocation picture.
for
When
law.
he got degree or LLM.
LLM. And was that in Mumbai or did he go somewhere else to study?
No, in Mumbai University.
Mumbai University. And how
Churchgate.
did you meet? And how? Oh, in the Churchgate Mumbai Law College, in the Bombay College.
Traveling is not a problem in Mumbai.
No, I'm saying that in Churchgate there's a law college. I
Yeah,
think
he
that is.
went to the same college, from the same
So
college.
it is very interesting. So I grew up in Kolkata. So I came to Mumbai in '97,
Okay.
and my second company where I used to work in advertising, where I met my wife, that was in Nariman Point. So I used to go to Churchgate to go to Nariman Point, and we'd get out, and the law college was just over there, and there was
It was from
Satkar.
law college only. Law college
Yes.
only. And before marriage, my parents used to stay at Marine Drive.
Okay. So you're a South Bombay girl,
Yeah.
and both you and your husband are born in Mumbai. You're,
Actually, he was born in Pakistan. Even I was born in Pakistan, but at the time of partition, I was 6 months old. So I don't remember anything of that.
So you're almost the same age as my mother. So my mother was born in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, but she was born in August, so the same month as.
Even August, even I'm born in
Oh,
August.
so you're the same age as my mother. How wonderful! So my parents were born on East Pakistan, and then they were in India before the partition. So we used to have the fish koliwada, and it was so popular, even in different restaurants in Mumbai. Like there were the
Yeah,
stalls
it's
and
become
the
very common
restaurants.
now. It's become very common now.
Yes. So when you think of Mumbai, you think of vada pav, you think of misal pav, you think of
Yeah.
pav bhaji, and you think of the fish koliwada. And this is the family, this is the restaurant, how it all started. So what was the inspiration between starting fish? Because it is not that common a Punjabi dish. Though in Amritsar, of course, there's a sole and shingara Amritsari machi, but it's not that common among Punjabis, right?
Maybe the place was koliwada, and
Yes.
people living there must be having fish over there. Maybe
I
because
think so, yes.
we were not there when my father-in-law started. So I think this must be the reason. It was a koliwada and fish must be available over there, and he started to start a new business. So maybe he found that, and luckily it became world famous now.
It is. So the fish koliwada, the prawn koliwada, which as ma'am, Urmila ma'am says, is indeed world famous, started over there.
Me and my husband came into business. So they introduced new dishes, Mughlai dishes, then slowly Chinese dishes, all this. We have a liquor business also.
Yes.
We have a big place, about 200 people sitting accommodation, AC as well as non-AC.
So how did you meet your husband? Was it arranged? It was arranged?
It was arranged. From family ladies to old ladies, they picked up and we got.
So did you eat at the restaurant before you married him?
Yeah.
So did you decide to marry him after eating in the restaurant?
No, at that time I was not coming. We were not allowed that time. I got married very early, 18 years old. At that time it was no free time was not there. I met him 2-3 times somewhere out.
And then tell me, your father-in-law, when he started the business in Pakistan, also was he in the when he was in undivided India, was he then also in the catering business, or did he start it when he came to Mumbai?
No, I think they were into some cloth business. It was
Okay.
a new thing for my. I'm very proud of my father-in-law to migrate from new to a new place where you don't know anything. There is
Yes.
no your marketing, nothing you know, and you
Yes.
start a business thing like it has gone up to so high level.
No, it is amazing, like what people like
I'm
Hukamchand ji
proud of
did.
him. Really, I'm proud
Yeah.
of him, proud of my husband also, and now I'm
And
proud of myself also.
we are proud of you. Your granddaughter Akanksha, who's helped us connect, is
And
also
she's
so
very
proud of
lovely,
you.
lovely person, lovely.
And all of us in Mumbai are proud of you because you've given us such a world famous dish. Now,
Yeah.
ma'am, I want to ask you something about especially people like your father-in-law, your parents, who had to leave everything and start afresh. Now, when I've met some other people also like that who run Punjabi restaurants, like in Bandra, there's Punjab Sweet House. In Fort, there's Moti Halwai. They tell me that there is no regret. I mean, there was a lot of pain in having to leave home, but for them, it has been all about starting afresh, giving something back to the city. So I would like to know how did your father-in-law feel that having to leave everything, come here? What was his mindset? Was he ever bitter?
That was a natural thing. Everybody had to come because of war.
Hmm.
So I can't say what did have we thought, but because of all calamity, they migrated from Pakistan.
No, but
At
in the
that
year,
at that time, it was not Pakistan. After
yes, it was
that,
India.
but it
So in
was
the
for 1947 only they came.
so in the time when you knew your father-in-law, did you know him to be someone who was very bitter or upset about what had happened? Or was he going on
No,
more?
saintly man.
He was a very saintly man.
We used to worship Guru. He had some gurus. We also met all gurus. Yeah, and down to earth, very simple. And I feel personally,
There.
yeah.
You were telling me about your father-in-law and his
And I
story.
feel I was just telling you he was a devotee of some saints. You might have heard about Nanded Sahib Sachkhand Gurudwara.
Yes.
So all Gurujis from there, they used to come to our place or stay in our house. We used to serve food, tea, whatever is the time. Many people used to come and we used to uh, enjoy serving them. So I think in their blessings or my father-in-law's blessing, I am alone handling this restaurant. That is their
Yes.
spirit and blessings are with me.
It is indeed true. In fact, I must say that, whenever I've met Punjabi families which have been displaced in the partition and they've started, new businesses, and I've had the fortune, like today, to meet their descendants, they've always told me that their parents had a very positive spirit, a very forgiving spirit, a very compassionate spirit, very, this desire to give back to society. And people like you, Urmila ji, who are the next generation, have taken this spirit ahead. So I find it very, very inspiring that they lost everything and then they started afresh. And like you said, ma'am, it's their blessings, their inspiration
And
for all of us.
I really feel from bottom of my heart, I know that I'm blessed by their blessings, prayers, their efforts. We have been able to carry out all these things.
And we are
Because
blessed by you.
I am 75 years old to run a restaurant with liquor bar and other so many departments we have to tackle. I'm able to do because of their blessings and prayers and all that.
And also, like the way they had introduced you to the business. Tell me, ma'am, when did you start getting involved in the family business?
Actually, first I was a housewife,
Yes.
but before marriage, our life was quite. I am from a royal family. My father's brother was ambassador to Bulgaria, Dr.
Wow.
Gopal Singh Obhan,
Wow.
and my chacha, you can say. Then he was a governor to Goa for many years.
Wow.
So we used to stay in Marine Drive, going to see Sheikh Lata. Our culture was little different. But our education and living standard and our parents gave us education and etiquettes. So whatever, everything means a lot to me nowadays. So that things always help me now.
So, when did you start getting involved in the family business?
Yeah,
You said you were high.
I was a housewife. We were in a joint family. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law, three brothers, three wives, and somehow we were enjoying living together. We had two flats in Sion. So slowly, my youngest brother-in-law got separated. Then the two brothers and myself, my Devrani, used to sit together. And both the brothers, my husband and my younger to him, they were doing the business and we were housewife. But this was unfortunately when I lost him, I had to come in. Before that, I was doing only banking for him at home only. We had our gas business. So I was doing only banking for him, at that time RTGS was not there. Every day used to make RTGS drafts and all that. So I was banking for him. Then, otherwise, I was not involved in the business.
In fact, Urmila ji, I must commend you on this, and I must say that often people assume that women are only about housework or looking after children or cooking. But I must say, in every family, and what you said, my mother, my wife, like the way women maintain the finances, whether it's of the house or in your case also the business, is I don't think any man can do that, and we have a lot to learn from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, which means that at a rather later stage in life is when you took on the restaurant business when your husband passed away.
Yeah.
So, what made you take up the business then? Because you could have given it to a manager, you could have sold it off. What inspired you to take on the business?
I was very enthusiastic as a lady. And I'll tell you frankly, for 1 year I went into depression. It was a sudden shock for me. So my elder daughter, she took charge of the business and she took care. I was very sick.
Oh.
Are we there on the line?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
We are there.
So it was a sudden shock for me. So I fell into depression and all that. My elder daughter, she took charge of my business, and restaurant was all on on staff only. But slowly, after taking treatments and all that, I started going to the business. I enjoy that. I enjoy.
Wow, Urmila ji. I mean,
I'm doing all progress in my restaurant. We had two businesses. So one was, which I told you that my elder daughter took charge. So that slowly I took a major partner. So he's doing, because it's a money matter business, lakhs of. So I don't want to get involved because I'm stay alone. So I took a major partner and he's taking care of that place. And restaurant, whole and soul, I'm enjoying, I'm doing. It's not an easy job. It's a very tough job. Many departments you have to tackle. But I'm doing, I enjoy.
So Urmila ji, I must say that I have so much respect for you, and your smile is so inspiring. So when your husband Harbans ji passed away, and it is not easy. My father passed away when I was pretty young, so my mother was still very young then. So it is not easy to, and like you said, for you to admit that you fell into depression and that you had to take into treatment. But the fact that you came into the restaurant business and decided to start your life afresh is so inspiring for all of us.
You won't believe my husband did not allow us to go to our restaurant also. We children were going out for dinners and all that, but we were not allowed to go to our restaurants. After he passed away, I had to take care of my business. Just now also I feel that he has left a child for me, a small child, and I had to take care of it. So he's my, what should I say? He's left a very precious thing for me. so that I should take care. So every 6 months, I do some renovation in the restaurant. Now I take this portion, gallery portion, family, this thing, main board. So every 6 months, I keep on changing. So this time also requires all these changes also. Modern.
That's such a wonderful way of looking at that. So Urmila ji is 75 today. So I mean right now. So which means
Plus 70, yeah? Plus 70.
70 plus. So
plus 75. Plus 7.
75.
I'll be 76 in August.
She's going to be 76 next August.
Yeah.
So which means that she was in her mid 60s when Harbans Singh passed away. And it is not easy at any age to deal with the loss of a loved one, of one's spouse. And the fact that, she looked at the restaurant which he left behind as their baby, as her baby. And now for people who, just to give you a bit of a context, Hazara is a restaurant in Sion, and it is what one might call a very blue-collar restaurant. In fact, it is extremely popular with the taxi drivers. And Sion is a hub for all the taxis in Mumbai. So it's a very honest, it's a very hardworking restaurant, and the food is excellent quality. I've tried it. The pricing is also very approachable, and of course,
one thing I would like to say.
Yes.
Why I'm so successful? I don't compromise on the quality, because fish,
I saw that.
Because fish is very expensive.
Yes.
Even if you go to other restaurants now, they'll take ravas, half ravas and half basa, and they'll mix it.
Yes.
We don't do that. We don't do that. So I don't compromise on quality.
So I saw that. I saw that when I tried your food, because I tried the prawn koliwada.
When did you come?
No, I had actually during the lockdown, I had ordered in food from Hazara. So since I couldn't go during the lockdown, I had gone once to Hazara, but that day I was very tired, so I didn't go inside. So I ordered food in. But I'm saying that despite traveling, the prawn was so juicy. The fish, the ravas, which is Indian salmon, and there's also what you call a duplicate ravas, but this is the good quality one.
Another thing we take care of, we don't use frozen things.
Yes.
Every night when we close our restaurant, we order non-veg, fish, chicken, and morning 11 o'clock people come and serve. We don't do frozen. We take fresh things.
And I saw that in the quality of the prawns. If it is frozen prawns,
that's why it's not frozen. It's fresh.
It was so juicy. It was not overcooked at all. Then I had the chicken, Malwani chicken, and the mutton masala. So again, see, they were spicy because that is how the food of Mumbai used to be. That is what the audience wants.
It's a demand of guests.
Yes, that is the sort of thing which it is. But such tender quality, the chicken, the goat meat, both of them such tender quality, and it's cooked in the bone. The way Indian food used to be. It's not boneless. It's meant to be cooked on the bone, and it was such a good quality food. So, but it is also a bit of the lost culture of Mumbai, because the new restaurants which are coming up are not like that. They're not the sort of restaurant which Hazara was. And
Hazara, flavor. It's authentic.
Yes, authentic flavor and an honest heart. And Hazara is the sort of restaurant on which Mumbai was built, which is why I can understand why Hukamchand ji, her father-in-law, or Harbans Singh,
Harbans Singh, my husband.
Harbans Singh didn't allow them in, because it was not really the sort of place where women used to go to eat. Yeah. But from that, for you to take it on and run it, how amazing is that? So how did you feel? Because you were entering a world which you'd never entered. You were kept away from. So you must have been a bit scared.
I could have done. At that time, I was into depression, sensitive. So my children told, "Mummy, isko bank pe de dete hain, we'll get good rent." But one thing I told you, I felt that my husband has kept a baby for me. I had some feeling, some inner feeling with that moral. I mean, what can I say?
Some heart say it was coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I go there, I feel I'm meeting my husband. I'm going. This is my second house. I'm going to meet my family there. So I love.
Yes. So and what could have
another section for families also?
Yeah, of course.
Family
No, So a lot of these restaurants in Mumbai, the second or third generation one, as they have progressed, and when families like yours, I've also seen it, say, Lucky Restaurant in Bandra and Mumbai, which is, this. But with time, the next generation also creates sections for families or air-conditioned sections, and they make it progress. So, ma'am, I'm sure you played a big role in helping Hazara grow over the last 10 years, your little child.
Of course,
So what are
you
the
have
things which
to.
you did? What did you do to keep it current? What did you do to help it grow?
Now I am going through little. I had gone through my spine surgery 4 years before, and then 5 months before knee surgery. My health is little weak now, but still my courage is still there. So
I'm sure, ma'am, and I'm sure the
I used
blessings
to, I
of
used
everyone who eats at Hazara would be with you.
I
Yes, go
used,
ahead, please.
yeah. Whenever you come, please call me. I'll come there.
I will. I will.
Please come. Huh? So
I
I
will.
used to twice a day. I used to go there. Is it on, sir?
Just 1 minute. Please go ahead. You were saying you used to go twice a day
In the morning, I am always in the kitchen.
in the restaurant.
I go by 12 o'clock. I go there. I'm always in the kitchen. See the cleanliness, how they work. All the masalas. Masalas are the same. From the beginning, masalas. We never added any new, this brand. We never added. So morning up to 12, from 12 to...
Go ahead, tell us.
Okay.
You're telling us about the kitchen.
Kitchen. So one thing, the staff is very scared if somebody is there to have a check on them. So, but my staff is, and luckily, again, my father-in-law's blessing, all those saints are blessing. My staff is very old and very, very good also. And we don't work with less people. We work with more people so that there is no hassle bustle in the kitchen. There are 5 sections over there. One is Tandoor ka section, one is Mughlai Chinese ka section, Mughlai and section. Then there's a Chinese section this side, and opposite side all the machines are there, coolers and machines and ice box and all that. And outside the restaurant we have a counter, barbecue counter. That we start in the evening, 6 o'clock. So morning I spend all this. Then evening I always go and do my paperwork. All about my one part-time manager is there, keeps all records. So I cross-check all those things in the evening, make all the checks for the properties, for people, whatever we purchase, liquor and all that, groceries. So I make about, every day I have to make 12 to 15 checks, maybe sometimes some more also. So evening I spend over there. And when all these restaurants is full, I just lagav and checker in the restaurant so that customer guests know that some owner is there. But yes. I don't stay there for longer. They drink and do
yes,
that.
Yes.
And that atmosphere I come home.
Yeah, then they'll be worried that, their mummies around them, then they'll be in very good behavior.
Many people, they all old people, they ask, madam nahi aaya. I don't tell them to call me madam. I say, Didi bolo, yeah, auntie bolo. Madam mat bolo. I don't want to become madam. So they call me Didi.
So, Urmila ji, I just think it's, so till you took on to the business and when you were in your mid-60s, you had not done any of this at all.
Yeah.
So how did you start doing this?
I see my staff as a family. I never call them servant, manager, barman. They are a family. So they also feel I treat them as a family. So they give me respect also. A lot of respect they give me.
So did they help you understand the business because you came in so late? Or did you observe also from your husband how he would run the business?
Sorry?
Would you observe from your husband how he run the business, or is it from your staff that you learned? How did you learn how to?
My own routine things were going on, but the day by day, the time is going on. Things are new things are introducing in the market. So that is, of course, I am doing, not the staff.
And the original recipes were from your father-in-law?
Yeah.
Hukamchand Singh?
Yeah. Only that fish car. Only that fish car. Other though my husband did a lot in helping Mughlai and Chinese. At that time, Chinese was not there. That my husband did.
How did he find all those recipes? Did he have chefs, or did he, was he interested in cooking?
Main is basic things. We don't add too many masalas. We don't do. But the thing which are essential to make, we don't use too much masala, and good quality things. All these things.
And you did not feel tempted to introduce your own recipes in the restaurant? Are you into cooking? Do you like cooking?
I love cooking. I'm a very good cook also.
So you did not introduce your own recipes into the kitchen?
Anything. I did many things. Yeah.
Like, which are your introductions?
Like fish we introduced new, only not koliwada, the hardy fish, then Malwani fish, then what is that lumpy fish it calls? Surmai. All these things I introduced after my husband.
That is one more thing about
prawns in gravy, then biryani in gravy.
Biryani in gravy.
Yeah. In chicken biryani. Chicken biryani, fish biryani, prawns biryani.
So those are your introductions?
Yeah.
Oh, so when you go to Hazara and you have the prawn, chicken, fish biryani, or this thing, please remember all of those are Urmila ji's recipes. So it's like eating in her house. And that is the thing about the Punjabi families who opened restaurants in India and across the world. They took in local influences because they saw themselves as citizens of that place. So they were no longer citizens of Punjab, of Khyber, of Hazara, but they were Mumbaikars. So, there's a Mumbai influence. So there's Malwani food, there is Hyderabadi food, there's Chinese.
And if I say myself, some might say she's proud, but I am proud. I have eaten food in Khyber also. But if you come and go to both the places, then you tell me.
But that is the mark. Whenever I've eaten good food anywhere.
Khyber and our recipes are almost good.
Yes. No, I of course meant Khyber, where your grandfather had come from, father-in-law had come from. But you're also talking of the Khyber restaurant. But this is what I've seen across the world. Whenever I've gone to a place where the food is very nice, and it doesn't matter whether it's a 5-star or street food or a family-run place like this, it is always the passion and involvement of the people who run it.
I am there.
Yes, like you said, ma'am, that you go there every day.
Even if I'm not feeling good, still I feel very sorry if I don't go there for a week. Even in lockdown, I was feeling very sick type that I'm not going to my restaurant. I'm so attached to that place.
Look at her spirit. Urmila ji is 75 plus. I am 30 years younger than her. Many of you watching are maybe 30 years younger than me, hopefully. And we sometimes feel that, oh God, life has been so tough to us. Or we are so tired. We don't want to do this. Oh, our job is so horrible. I want to do something else. But look at her spirit. She has taken on the restaurant as her baby. And I think that is a great lesson to us, that whatever work we do, our office, or whether it's our own business, we should look at it as our own baby. Then that will change the way we look at work. Because sometimes babies can be difficult, right? Right, Urmila ji? You have babies, you have grandbabies. Babies can be difficult. But a mother or a father doesn't give up on the baby.
This is the main thing my restaurant I'm running. That feeling is there.
Yes, so she goes to the restaurant twice a day, and you will expect that, okay, maybe if it's this if it's a grandma coming into the restaurant, she will just be cooking. But no, she is working with their staff, giving, leading them as a captain, making them feel like family, and learning from them. And she's focusing on hygiene so that the customers get the best. She's keeping an eye on how things are running. She's looking at the financial part. And remember, all of this, she didn't start at the age of 16 or 26. But we have all these lists of 30 under 30, 20 under 20, 40 under 40, which are great achievements. But what about 75 over 75? I mean, it is so amazing, ma'am. And so, you spoke about the...
One more thing I
Yes,
would like to add.
yes.
In the restaurant line, there are a lot of taxes going on out. Lot of
Hmm.
taxes. Whether you have business, whether you don't have business. So what I did, I kept another Hazara restaurant account separate. And one is regular, whatever we give checks and all that for the business. So every day, whether it is dry day, whether it is holiday, whether we have our sale is less, every day I put 8,000 in that account. So when GST comes, VAT comes, advance income tax comes, excise comes, I don't have any worry. I just give from that.
That is another amazing thing to learn from, because we all crib, whether it's our business or our incomes, that we have to pay taxes, we have to pay rent, we have to pay staff. But look at our attitude. Okay, we have to pay that. That is a fact of life. So instead of crying about that, let's plan for it. So it is such an amazing attitude, man. So that is such an amazing attitude, that yes, taxes are a fact of life. Rent is a fact of life for people. Staff salary is a fact of life. But if that is life, then plan for it instead of cribbing about it.
Planning is a must in every business.
Planning is a must.
Planning is a must.
And I can see your passion, because and the involvement which you feel, because when you said that during the pandemic, you were not allowed to go to a restaurant because of safety and health reasons. You're uncomfortable with that. So tell me a bit about this period during the pandemic and how you have captained and led Hazara restaurant ahead, because there's going to be learning for a lot of people, because this has been a very tough period for people. How did you keep the business afloat?
And
Sorry,
do
can you
more
start
and
again?
more, learn more.
Yeah, you were telling us about the pandemic and how you took on it.
Yeah. Because I didn't have any problem. One, my nature was such to grow more and more and more. And when I entered into the business, all things were into routine only. Of course, I grew a lot. I did a lot. Renovation I did, dishes I added more, but the things were in routine work. So I didn't find any difficulty in that. My husband left me in a very comfortable state.
No, but ma'am, when the Corona pandemic happened and the lockdown happened,
that was that time. So even I had lost some tension. I was in tension. There was no money.
How did you then move on? What did you do?
What happened? I'm having staff of 32 people with me. So in March 22, I gave them salary, and nobody told me that they are going. All of a sudden, I heard that they have left. Sabka kapda vapda udhar dal ke, they kept their things and they went away in a truck. I got shocked. What will I do? I didn't know that this is going to shut for many months and all that.
Yes. Yes.
But, again, my blessings of my father-in-law, my husband's, two persons. All these were in Bihar, so they went together. So one Chinese cook and one waiter. They were from Uttarakhand. So they didn't get any facility to go, so they stayed there. Then I thought, okay, now, so I don't know how long it is going to be. So, and one my manager who stays over there, and one barman, 4 people. So I promised them, till the restaurant is shut, I will give you half salary. Whether there is a work, because to keep in your hand, no, you must have somebody in your hand. All of a sudden they'll announce abhi restaurant khol do. Then what will I do? So I kept all those 4 people in my hand and I gave them half salaries and took care of their daily eating things. I used to give them 5,000 rakh lo. When it gets over, I'll give you again 5,000 to buy your
provisions.
Daily. So slowly, in the beginning we had little difficulty. They came. Then we had to arrange it. They were not coming. They are also very smart. Abhi gaadi nahi hai, abhi kaise aayenge? Then we, main 6 people we sent ticket from here. Tandoor wala, main cook, helper, barbecue wala. Those 5 people, we sent tickets from here and they came.
From Bihar. They
Yeah,
came back from Bihar.
yeah, Jharkhand. No, Darbhanga. The
Nice.
other 20 people, again, they were sitting, we can't come. Then we arranged a bus for them.
Wow.
We paid for the bus and they came from the bus. Now I am good with my staff. They all are there.
And what about the hygiene and all of that? How are you maintaining that?
I have to take care. I have to. These though 4 people, they were there. No, I was giving them salary, half salary. So every day they were cleaning the restaurant. Every week we were sanitizing the restaurant place. Without it was shut then also.
So look at her spirit. I mean, the lockdown happened, the pandemic happened, and it shook everyone. It affected every business, including hers as well. But Urmila ji, I think because she looked at the restaurant as her baby and as her promise to her husband, to her late father-in-law as well. So she would not give up. So she planned for it. She looked at the business reality of it. She planned for it. She did whatever was required to get the business going. And probably, instead of, thinking why this, why that, with this cold precision which is required, sometimes it is important to, Urmila ji, do you feel sometimes it is important not to get very emotional when you're running a business, but just do it as matter of fact?
Emotionally, I went little down. I'm telling you frankly, because I was 5 months, I did not step out of my room.
Yes.
I'm one room to other, room to other. But one thing was kept me comfortably. Emotionally is a different thing. Emotionally, I was quite upset. And my daughters, they used to tell me, come, come. But starting 2-3 months, I did not go. After that, I went and stayed with them for a week. But main thing helped me was my saving. My nature is because financially everybody was very stressed.
Yes.
So for 5 months to give salary to them, to give them eating, and every day, every week I used to give them 10,000 rupees. And one of my manager, he got sick. I had to take care of him also. So my saving helped me a lot.
I think that is one thing which my generation has learned from you, our parents, my mother as well. Because like I said, my mother raised my brother and I. We lost my father when I was 9 years old and my brother was just about a year. I think we have learned, or at least I have learned from you, for the importance of saving. So I think that is something which the future generation really needs to learn.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to. One thing I want to tell you. During COVID period, when we were expecting our staff to come, so we sanitized all our restaurant and keep the things ready. That gun for temperature,
temperature, oxygen.
All things we kept ready before that.
So I think that this is a great lesson from what Urmila ji just told us. For people who are running businesses, where people like me who are freelancers, or even otherwise, like as a general attitude in life, that okay, there might be things which will happen, which will put you down emotionally, mentally, financially, but to keep saving. So have your savings so that even in tough times you can keep going. Also, if you're at one point, detach your emotions from what you have to do to get ahead and work. So then you can't get very emotional. Why are they not coming? Why are they not this thing? But see what has to be done to make it happen and go ahead. And what you've done is so amazing.
Main thing, it was not only with me. It was in the whole world. So there is little hope. It will get solved.
Yes, that is true. That every person in the world.
If one person is suffering, it is too much. But the whole world is suffering. So little consolation we get.
Yes, the whole world is suffering. And like you said, we are in it together. But from people like you, we get inspiration, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So, ma'am, before we close, anything which you would like to tell to all of us, that any learnings which you had in life, which you feel that we can learn from or benefit from?
My learning, I'll tell you, it's some inborn qualities, I must say. Some of my parents' quality they gave me. So some of the uh,
Or what is your advice?
my nature of learning and doing hard
So
work, all this.
what is your advice? Like, for example, if you were sitting with your, say, your grandchildren, like, for example,
Yeah.
Akanksha, who helped us,
Yeah.
set this business interview, and she was wearing a mask, by the way, while she was doing it. What advice would you give to your grandchildren, their friends, to us? What advice would you give us?
If a person is entering into a new restaurant line, actually it's a very tough line, very tough line. So for that, one must have to be planning. They have to spend some time with themselves, how much efficiency they have. Money, knowledge, manpower, to tackle with so many departments. There is a BMC, police, a shop and establishment, fire brigade, health department, then licenses for SSFA license, entertainment, so many things. Is the person who's going to start is got knowledge or capacity to end up to tackle all these things? Another thing, if they don't have any knowledge and they really they have money, they want to invest, they can take advice from somebody, some good people. There are some agencies also, they guide you. But without planning, without getting satisfaction, without a place, you should not start. Ki chalo bhi karje se le liya, bank se loan le liya. That is not a good thing. If you have good financial state, then only you should think, and all the knowledge you must have. And you should be honest. One thing, you should be honest to your business.
Honest to your business. I think those are words of wisdom, Urmila ji, which you've given us. I mean, she was talking in the context of if you're going to start a food business, but even otherwise, if you're going to start something new, a lot of thorough planning has to go into it. And yes, planning is a must, like she said. There might be sometimes when you...
Planning, knowledge.
Planning, yes, I was coming to the second part. So planning is very important. You should do a lot of groundwork before you start something new. And I think I also need to imbibe that. The second is that you should have knowledge of the field which you're getting into. Sometimes, like she said, you might not have the knowledge, but you might have the interest, in which case, be humble.
There's no harm taking advice from your friends.
Yeah, there is no harm taking advice from people.
Before starting,
because sometimes we feel a bit embarrassed to ask advice, or we think we know everything. But no, Urmila ji says that there's no harm. And the third thing Urmila ji said is that be honest to your business. And she has showed that in her life. Like, the way she has treated Hazara restaurant, the way she has treated her husband Harbans Singh and her father-in-law Hukamchand Ji's legacy as her own, the way she's looked at her staff as her own, the customers as her own. That shows, ma'am, what you were saying when you said that loyalty and honesty to the business.
Whenever I see some crowd, like who are not drinking, not a man, but like a family, or whom I know, I just go and ask them also, how's the food, how's the service, are you satisfaction? Very happy, very happy. So that they also should know that somebody is there to inquire. ऐसा ही नहीं चल रहा है.
The food in Hazara, is fabulous and it's legendary, and it has started, is a backbone of the restaurant industry in a sense in Mumbai. But nothing can be as nice as the smile, ma'am, of Urmila ji, when you're there. And before ending, I must say that first of all, our prayers are with you, that this smile stays forever. And I want you. And I want you to know that in our terms, you are truly a rock star. Yeah, I mean, you're truly a legend.
Thank you so much.
I mean, we have so much to learn from you. I mean, the way you've put yourself into the business, the way you've restarted your life at the age of 65, and it's been 10 years since then, and you're going strong. The way you fell into depression at the loss of your loved one, but then got up My God, I mean, through this conversation, I mean, no movie can leave you so inspired as this chat. But it is all summed up, ma'am, in the smile of yours. And whatever be the situation, may the smile always be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
And you know, now I'm really praying for the lockdown and everything to end so that I can
I
go
would
to
like to
Hazara
meet you also. Please come to
and
my.
meet you in person. And to for those watching, Hazara is a restaurant in Sion Koliwada in Mumbai. So whether you're from Mumbai or anywhere in the world, you have to go there because it is one of the earliest Punjabi restaurants in the city, and it is a restaurant which has given the fish koliwada, which along with the vada pav, misal pav, pav bhaji, is one of the most legendary dishes of Mumbai. So you cannot come to Mumbai and not go to Hazara. And thank you so much, Urmila ji, for joining us. And it was
My pleasure.
thank you so much, Urmila ji. It was absolutely fabulous, and wish you good health, happiness, and keep smiling. Thank you.